Greg, how do you, now I know that we're talking about fecal pads for you,
Yes.
fecal incontinence, but how do you go about sourcing your pads? Is it difficult? Is it trial and error?
It's, for a male especially, you have to get used to sort of like going to the chemist or the supermarket and ask for a box of female panty liners in my experience, and then you have to work out which one fits and which one absorbs, and it's a trial and error is definitely. And for someone who's got fecal incontinence, you can really have irritation with skincare as well. So you have to really find the right one that suits you. And the other thing too that guys have to take into account is a lot of guys wear boxers, and rather than just the briefs.
Yes.
So to find the right, especially for boxers, you have to find the one that to be able to stick to the boxes and that they aren't as tied in.
Yeah.
So it's all a personal fit, but without them, I wouldn't be able to function without having an incontinence pad on.
Yes.
Because mentally you'd be sort of like worrying, am I soiling or whatever. So it's not just the physical helps you, but it's just the emotional side, that knowing that you are safe.
Yes, yeah, that's really important. Janie, are there other pads available that, for example, someone with fecal incontinence can have that is specially padded around the anus area of a pad?
There are a few pads that are designed for fecal incontinence. They're often a longer pad that you would sort of position more towards the back. But generally, when it comes to continence pads, the ones that are considered probably typically for urine incontinence, you can use for fecal incontinence. Obviously, if there's any soiling, you need to change it quite quickly, and you can't leave it. If there's some soiling on it, you need to remove it and put a new pad on. But as sort of Greg says, often you position it slightly differently. You position it further to the back. Having sort of firm underwear is important. Boxes can be a little bit difficult unless they're the stretchy boxes that young men sort of wear, but the cotton boxes
too, in some of them have
so you want something that sort of is firmer underwear. Even for a lady, if you've got saggy, baggy underpants, it's not ideal. You want a nice, good fitting pair of underpants, and maybe you need to buy yourself some better fitting underpants to hold your pad well up in place, because if it's sort of hanging lower and not right up against the body, it can leak.
Okay, that's good. Thanks.
And the other thing too is you have to really get the right fit, because you're forever having to adjust. And because of the placement where it is, a lot of the pads sort of like it gets thinner because it moulds into your bottom. So there's that extra part as well. So it really is whatever suits you, but to get to the right comfort level takes a little bit.
I think too, one of the things I suggest to people is try samples, especially when it comes to disposable pads. You can get pad samples, and it's often good to try a variety of pads. They're cut quite differently, they're shaped quite differently. So even when it comes to like a pull-up is all very different. So some are more high cut, some are, just different shaped waistbands, that type of thing. So it's really important that you try more than one product just to try and find which is the one that suits your body shape correctly. And as you say, when you move, when you're active, which one doesn't adjust to you without curling up too much, isn't too bit wide between the legs. So there's so much to take in when you try a product that it's really important that you try a few and try and figure out what's the right one for you.
Yeah, like for me personally, I grew up not using pads. I was just using folded toilet paper. Right, and that, because you can then dispose of it a lot easier. But that then causes a lot of irritation with skincare and that.